Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. Chief Navigator's Log. Stardate 2. Well, they sure knew how to make alcohol in this new galaxy. I don't know where I ended up last night, but when I stopped in that spaceport, found some friendly aliens. And honestly, you can't really call them aliens because I'm the alien here. But I didn't even speak of their language. And but the universal of language is buying someone around, and I sure did a couple of those. But oh, it was great. I actually found myself traveling between planets, actually nodding off. Really glad that this new pulse drive that I got installed has a planet detection system. I'm not sure. There might not have been a second log entry. I still have not found a planet that's suitable for colonization.
How worthy avocado was.
And I'm convinced that there will be one. So onward I search. I've discovered some points that'll be of interest to the scientific directorate. It appears that non-hostile enemies treat me as more of a curiosity than a threat. They seem to feed on local resources, just like herbivores at home. And if I care for them and feed them, they will actually lead me to more valuable resources. Fellow explorer Optic Nerve Explosion reported these findings to me. Also of interest, I had proceeded with using my mining laser, which is all that I was equipped for at the beginning. But Optic also reported that by toggling a button, I can switch between the mining laser and a more powerful pulse gun. It has made my protection my safety and protection much greater. So, a couple things to note. I suppose the pulse gun mod is more for the STF. What else? Oh man, my brain is foggy from last night. When you get some fermented Harambe grass 18 times distilled, well, you kind of wake up feeling like an ape. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It opens my mind up to new experiences. Let's see. Oh, fellow linguist, the Burning Stone has successfully reported almost learning an entire solar system's language. It's something to be taken note of. I think I've learned two words, but the role of an explorer is not to conquer any one thing. The cave systems on these worlds are quite extensive.
Mining by collision, nice.
I almost got lost several times, but luckily every time has come out. I still have yet to find a matter transporter system for myself, or extending the range of my ship's material transporter. Alright, so back in the real world, there's a guy watering his lawn, and it's like a level 3 drought here. It's fucked up. I might actually have to yell at him. Guy looks like an old retired cop or something. Let him fucking waste the water. Anyway, back to my log. I've heard reports through bouncing off the wormhole from back on Sol that there's been indications that other explorers have found named planets already. This is great news. It only furthers the possibility of finding a habitable world. I'm not quite sure how we're going to get about this. The Explorers League right now is quite small. It sounds like people back on Earth are just taking makeshift ships with the open source specs that we provided and just jumping through themselves. However foolish this may be, it can only do good in finding a new world. Well, there's a lot more to explore, so I'll keep this log short. For the Explorers League, this is Chief Navigator Uyghur the Farmer signing off. Welcome to day 2 of No Man's Sky. Oh my gosh, this game is mind-blowing. Look, if there's gonna be a title of this thing, this episode it is not hype, it's real. Alright, it's only been out for 1 day, and it's only available on PS4. And yesterday on Twitch, from my checks, almost reached 140,000 people in the Twitch directory. Second only to, I don't know, one of the MOBAs, League of Legends, or the other one that's always on top. And that's a PC game. And it's so funny watching the tweets come out of Sean Murray. And I think their servers are melting down. Millions of discoveries. And they are blown away. And there's been their first reported potential meeting between 2 players on day 1, and the guys at Hello Games cannot believe it. Honestly, never underestimate the internet. They did that with Destiny. They underestimated how many people would play it, and it's fair. Most games you have a lot of people playing, and it's so funny because the servers are so overloaded that Sean is even impressed that name uploads are still working. And so when they reported that they couldn't see each other, of course Reddit starts doing its thing, and then Sean comes back and says, look, things are barely holding together here. Things are smoking and burning down. So it's very clear that we want to see each other. And it's only a matter of time before the server architectures are linked and they do something. Honestly, the multiplayer is going to be, I see it being similar to Dark Souls, right? So seeing the planet names is sort of like the blood stains where people have died, and that you can interact with each other through the online ghosts and the phantoms and stuff, and that you can get summoned, and it's like temporary multiplayer, but otherwise it's a single player game, and that's honestly, that would be the first step. But it is awesome. I honestly, how many hours did I play last night? Maybe 3? I had a little bit too much scotch. But what a great game to pass out to. It was magical. And even my fiance, she actually had it loaded up, but then she had to talk to her brother, so that stopped that. But and there's a bunch of people in my clan, Destiny Raiders, and they haven't even left their one planet yet. And my friend from across the pond, Cheese Whisk, who's like head dude UI guy at Rockstar, also hasn't left his planet. And this game, it's like no other. And it's funny because people are like, oh, it looks bad and this and that, and they're disappointed. And I'm like, what interviews were you watching for the past 3 or 4 years? I've watched all the interviews. I've avoided anything that's not a direct interview with Sean Murray, and everything that was in those interviews is in the game. I am not disappointed in the least. This game is exactly what I was expecting it to be. So, yeah. Well, look at when arguably the smartest inventor currently alive, Elon Musk, who is taking Earth reusably to Mars, and who will be the death of the fossil fuel burning car, and will end up giving free solar power to the world. When Elon Musk tweets out that he's going to play No Man's Sky this weekend and talks about his simulation theory, you know it's not freaking hype anymore. It's not. And look, if the whole world is playing Pokemon Go, which is a game about nothing, the whole world should be playing No Man's Sky and making it a game about everything. Because honestly, if anyone is going to prove that the simulation theory is true, the first game that's going to start that process is No Man's Sky. If you want to get lost in a universe, do it in No Man's Sky. There has not been a game yet where I can play the whole entire game on one planet, or if I wanted to jump in a ship and fly to another area, or leave orbit and mine some asteroids, or it feels like I'm an astronaut. It really does. And anyway, here's another couple things that have been interesting. People in their tweets have now been randomly not randomly, intentionally tagging at our Sky community. Look, I've become internet famous. People are thinking about me when they tweet, thinking about us. I now have people in the clan that want to make audio and video submissions. Do it. It's so good. Anyway, if you have anything you want to share or say, or whatever, there's a couple things you can do. You can, of course, tweet at me, and I'll retweet it. You can upload an audio clip to my Dropbox. You can make a video, and you can either upload it to YouTube upload it to YouTube, and then I can just download it, and then I can repost it. Or you can just send me the audio clip and your Twitch footage. So what I've been doing with my video footage is on Twitch. I have it archiving my broadcast. You have to actually do that in the Twitch web page itself and not in the PS4. So you just go to archive broadcasts. And then every time I'm playing, I set it to broadcast, but I turn off my mic. I don't make a big deal about it streaming. Hold on, I gotta merge into this lane. I don't make a big deal of it streaming. And the great thing is that I can just say export to YouTube when I'm done. I set it as unlisted, and now I have raw footage for my stream. I'd love to automate a bunch of this stuff, but we'll get there. I got the code that DJ Biter made for automatic SoundCloud to YouTube publishing, so I'm gonna use that and modify it. I'm thinking if I can make it that I could say what the SoundCloud ID is and what the URL is, mush it together and have two splash screens. And I guess maybe how long the audio is. Anyway, just a food for thought for myself. Anyway, if anyone has ideas or tips or tricks or No Man's Sky discoveries, let's do this together. It's our sky, and we're discovering it one planet at a time. And as always, it's for Harambe, and in the words of the greatest duo in history, be excellent to one another and party on, dude.